I tried to go in using my signature one-man, one-camera shot, but the museum security wasn't going for it this time. So rather than have another run-in with the police, I went to the front desk of the museum and asked for a pass to use my tripod. Voila! I got one! It was like deja vu at first. I thought I was inside the Vatican Museum. The Roman and Greek wing was quite impressive. They had a lot of art and an ancient Roman chariot. Good thing it was encased in glass or we would have been taking a ride. I even found a headshot of our friend Constantine, whom the museum promotes by saying, quote, Constantine the Great was the first Christian emperor of Rome, unquote. Did I ever mention that Constantine also removed Egyptian obelisks and set them up in Alexandria and Constantinople? Just checking. I actually came to the museum to see these two guys. The original crab claws that held up our obelisk for approximately 1,880 years before it was brought to Central Park and given new 922-pound crab claws to rest upon. And there was the original Greek and Latin writing to confirm what I had suspected. Quote, in year 8 of the reign of Augustus Caesar, Barbarus, prefect of Egypt, erected this monument by the architect Pontius, unquote. As the supports had the shape of a crab, a creature associated in Roman mythology with the worship of Apollo and the sun, they were acceptable to the Egyptians. By the way, I should mention that the crab is the fourth sign of the zodiac, called Cancer, and in ancient times, it appeared at the moment of the summer solstice. When Caesar Augustus became ruler of Egypt, he wanted to do things like this obelisk crab act that would appease his new Egyptian subjects and show them his, quote, appreciation and application, unquote, of their religious practices under his rule. The crabs are only a drop in the bucket of how far Augustus was willing to go to meld together the Egyptian and Roman religions. It is time to decide whether this crab deal is a so what or now what moment. If it's a so what moment, then we quickly end this segment, call this episode a waste of time, run the credits, and the project is done. However, if it's a now what moment, then we take out our trusty jackhammer and break up the concrete layer of crab crust that has encrusted itself over the information in order to try and hide the truth. Since the privilege is mine, let's get back to work. This entire room where our crabs are displayed is dedicated to displaying the ancient temple DENDUR built by Augustus Caesar in Egypt in 13 BC. The actual temple, not a replica, was brought over and reassembled inside the newly built wing of this museum in 1978. Even though I had that feeling in my stomach again, I needed to go inside and take a peek. Augustus Caesar dedicated this temple to Isis, the Egyptian equivalent of the Greek goddess Estar, you know, Easter. There are pictures that tell the story of Egyptian sun god worship on every wall, including Augustus Caesar depicting himself as the new pharaoh in full Egyptian regalia. There is a partial statue of the Egyptian goddess inside the temple, and a fully complete statue of Isis encased outside the temple in the next room. As I was taking as much video as I could to give you the full perspective of the Temple of DENDUR, I started wondering again if anyone else other than the Central Park artist and me connected these ancient pagan principles to present-day practice, or if it was just my imagination. As I left with my questions, I ran into a group of men singing in front of the museum what I was asking in my mind. This building is one of two in the entire world called the Egyptian Building, built as a replica of the Temple of DENDUR. One is in South Africa, and this one is in Richmond, Virginia. I bet you can guess what I had to do. I had to see it for myself, just to be sure it was not just my imagination.